I picked up these two at a recent allocation drop here in Washington State. And I'm going to tell you my trick about how you can get one of these without having to do a whole lot of work. It's allocation season. We did one talking about the bottles you could hunt, but now I'm going to talk about if you have a Total Wine in your area, especially if you have multiple Total Wines and they do some of the yearly allocation drops or some of the big whiskey raffles. When they do these allocation drops, typically it's only for their Grand Reserve members, which means you had to spend at least $2,500 in the store. Now, there's some tricks to get around this and to get that for way less. I made Grand Reserve by spending $250. And that was because they opened a brand new store here in Washington not too long ago. I went to that store and I picked up a bunch of my shelf mixers because they were at 10 times points for the first month in that store and that store only. So if you happen to have Total Wines and they open a new location and it's close enough to drive, go there, pick up some of your mixers, some of your daily sippers, those kind of things. Get yourself the points at the huge multipliers. They're 8 to 10 multiplier, and you become Grand Reserve for the next about year and a half. Typically enough to hit 2 of their big like BTAC and Pappy raffles, plus a few of the other events. And when those events occur, here's a little tip for you. Make sure that you set your home location to the store where those drops are going to happen. Sometimes their system does not email you unless you set your home store to the one where they're doing the drop. It sucks, and you might not get notified of these drops happening and completely forget them. But if you have other whiskey friends and they tell you that drop's happening, your Grand Reserve, go to them anyway. Here's another little secret. If you don't have an email and they're asking for the email, have your friend forward it to you. Scroll up so they can't see the top part and it only shows the address of the store. You go, hey, see, I got the email. And then close your phone and give them your phone number and you're good to go. Cheat the system, boys. The drop this year was kind of interesting. Here in Washington, there's a couple of stores throughout the state that get it. I went to one that is in Puyallup, Washington, which had a bit less of a line than the bigger store in Bellevue. And then there's one on the other side of state in Spokane that apparently had like a massive drop. But they open at 9. I got there at about 6:45, 6:30, something like that. I was 11th in line, and I scored this Rock Hill Farms, which is very hard to get in my state. We very rarely see Rock Hill. And if you're curious, I got this for $119.99 plus taxes, which, yes, we have high taxes in Washington, but usually when you see these, they're almost always in museum stores, and they want like $400 plus for a Rock Hill Farms. And it's part of the reason why I've never had one for myself to drink. But now I've got one. We'll have to probably do a review on it at some point. But here's the big thing. Those are only for the Grand Reserve members. You have to be Grand Reserve. They check your account, all that kind of thing. However, the day after, and I did this last year because I was not a Grand Reserve in spring, they had a big event. The day after, everything that's left over is open to the public. Now, it's limited to 1, but if you have one nearby, it's a pretty easy way to get a number of different allocations. The last one that was there, I got a Weller Foolproof Bic. Did a short of that while he commented, said congrats. This year, they had a whole ton of Weller 12, so I went in, picked one up, and it cost me a grand total of $59.99 plus tax. I know that's some people will be like, oh, that's a little expensive compared to MSRP. MSRP is different state to state. I hate to break it to you. It's actually not a national MSRP, and in Washington state, it changes. I know that some people, their MSRP is higher on this product than that. So, I don't know. For me, Weller 12 is a really cool sipper to have. And while I have another bottle, it's nice to have a backup because it's soft and easy and it's something that I can easily pour for some of my friends who are not whiskey drinkers, but they like having a nice drink every once in a while. So there you go. I went to do an allocation drop, 2 days, 2 different pickups. Pretty happy about those. And there's my trick. Go the day after. You don't have to be Grand Reserve. You just have to know what's happening. It helps if you are Grand Reserve because then you get 2 days and you get the email and you know about everything. But the day after, just go into your local location. If you know that they are one of the allocation drops, you usually don't have to get there super early because typically there's a lot of leftovers. Things like Blanton's. There was a Blanton's Golds. There were some Michter's 10 Ryes, Weller 12s, the new Michter's Toasted Sour Mash, and a few other things that they had left over, and they had tons of it. When I got there, they told me they had like 4 cases of the Weller 12 left. And there was like no line. I got there at like 10:30. I walked in. They were telling one person about how the Grand Reserve membership worked, and they had picked something up. And then they were like, hey, how you doing? Which one do you want? I was like, I'd like the Weller 12, please. They grabbed me a Weller 12, rang me up, and called it a day. Easy peasy. No muss, no fuss, no lines, nothing. If you have a Total Wine in your area, it's probably the same because the whiskey craze has died down a little bit, so you don't have as many people going crazy. Plus, typically they limit you to 1, so you can go in, pick up something nice you don't have in your selection, or maybe something that's a personal favorite of yours to sip on, and get it at a decent price. So there you go. There's my tip. Little whiskey hunting secret, if you will. I know. Not that much of a secret, but still. It's always good to get as much information out there as possible because we all like getting some allocated stuff from time to time, especially at a non-inflated price. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you've gone to a Total Wine drop, let me know in the comments down below. What did you pick up? Were you here in Washington? What did you pick up? Did you get something really sweet? I want to know. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a couple bottles, including an E.H. Taylor single barrel and an E.H. Taylor small batch. A few other things as well. Like, comment, subscribe. Those things are free and the best way to tell old Papa YouTube, hey, I like what this person is doing. Someone else might too. It prevents all those stupid sponsorship things and lets me keep doing dumb content like this, 2-Minute Tuesdays, and some other stuff coming in the near future. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and stay awesome.